Hi guys, here's another homemade ice cream recipe for you. This time it's raspberry, and again I made it without an ice cream maker. There are a few steps involved, but trust me, it's totally worth it. Start off by adding 300 grams of fresh raspberries to a jug like this. Squeeze in the juice from half a lemon. You could use a lime here if you want, or even some good balsamic vinegar is lovely. Remember to fish out all those lemon seeds though, because they are so strong tasting and they taste really bad. Now, with a hand blender or an immersion blender, blitz it all up until it's a really fine puree. Now, this is optional, but I do recommend it, that you pass it through a fine mesh sieve. That'll catch all the little seeds or the little bits of seeds that have been broken up, because you don't want them in your ice cream. If you don't want to do this, that's fine, but it will make the ice cream a lot better. Stir the puree around in the sieve to help all the juice get through. Now take your pan of puree and put it over a medium heat to reduce. This will intensify the flavour and also evaporate off excess water which you don't want going into your ice cream, otherwise it will get crystally. Now take a large saucepan to make the custard. Do this by adding 500 millilitres of milk to it and 250 millilitres of cream. Let that heat gently for a little while over a low heat while you get on with your eggs. I have 4 egg yolks here and I'm just going to whisk them up until they're combined but not aerated. Then I added 250 grams of caster sugar to them and whisked them all up until it was nice and incorporated and thick and pale in colour. Remember to keep an eye on your puree, and if you feel like it's reduced enough, then take it off the heat. Take your milk and cream mixture off the heat once it's simmering and it just starts to steam, but before it starts to boil. Then slowly pour it over the egg and sugar mixture bit by bit, whisking each bit in before you add any more. If you add the hot milk and cream too quickly, the heat will scramble the eggs. Once the eggs are nice and incorporated, return the custard back to the saucepan and place over a medium-low heat. Now swap your whisk for a wooden spoon and gently stir it. Then add in your now reduced raspberry puree and stir it in. You're now going to need to gently stir this custard until it thickens just enough to coat the back of a wooden spoon. That should take about 20 minutes to half an hour maybe, over a medium-low heat. Then remove it from the heat to let it cool down to room temperature. This will happen a lot faster if you sit your saucepan into a sink of cold water. Once it's cool, take a freezer-proof container. I'm taking this metal loaf tin and pour in the cooled custard. Now stick it in the freezer until it just starts to freeze and go crystally around the edges. This should take between an hour and an hour and a half. Then take it out of the freezer and pour it into a blender or a food processor and blitz it up until it's all really nice and smooth and any ice crystals that have formed are all broken up. Now return it to its freezer-proof container, stick it back in the freezer for at least another hour and repeat this whole thing 2 more times where you blitz it and freeze it again. Breaking up the ice crystals that form like this will just make sure that it freezes really smooth and it'll have a really nice mouthfeel. Now freeze again for at least 4 hours or overnight. The great thing about this is that it can be done well in advance. Just take it out maybe 5 minutes before serving so it'll be soft enough to scoop. Thanks a million for watching guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. You can check me out on social media if you like. All the links to my accounts are in the description, as well as the link to my blog where you'll find this full recipe at www.rookiecook.org.